Hey there, guys. Welcome to the YouTube episode of Regurgitated Content, where we take stuff that's on the internet and just talk about it. Like everybody fucking else does on the internet, right? Let's just do stuff on stuff on stuff on stuff, and hey, let's make it our own content, someone else's, right? Anyways, today I had well, I hadn't. It wasn't today. A few days ago, I had gotten in package some religious videotapes. They were supposedly for teenagers. Let me see if I have them right here. Shit, I don't want the rest of them to fall. But here it is. God damn, I can't get that into focus. It says knowing God, right? Velocity Bible study for teenagers. And I guess it's a series that is supposed to go more aimed at teenagers and bringing them into the cult that is Christianity or Catholicism. It's all the same shit, right? Whatever. I'm pretty sure it's Christianity. Anyway, so I uploaded these tapes. Got a few weird copyright, not strikes, but like it won't show in Russia, which I'm like, okay, that's fine. Uh, no big deal. I don't know if anyone's really busy watching YouTube in Russia. But yeah. So we'll watch the first of these tapes this week, called "Knowing God," but it's spelled Noing. So it's like, oh no, God, you're not for me. And yeah, we'll talk about it. But let's get to the tail of the tape. No, let's get down to Let's get down to business to watch this tape. Be a man. All right, let me go to it. So let's see. It's unlawful to reproduce this program in any form. Yeah, let's do that with a radioactive looking sign. It's because of Chernobyl, and it is for Chernobyl.
Total TV is now Bluefish TV.
That dude's voice. Totally get into it.
Young people are looking for the real thing, and they know it when they see it.
I wonder why it's called Bluefish. Like, is that a Bible reference or something?
Just like David in the Psalms, the musicians and teenagers on this video series express their doubts, their fears.
I think one of my cousins, Hulky, was in a religious band.
On a search for faith.
I remember looking up to him as like a kid, and then when we grew up, he got like really, like he stayed the same mind like as a kid. So I think he was retarded. I honestly think Hulky was retarded, and he would I think he would play the bass or some sort of instrument for the fucking church band. Please show this short preview to your small group at least 2 weeks in advance of using the Velocity series. Oh, okay. Yeah, hit me with it. What is this preview gonna let me know? Cause I need religion. So bad. Whoa! Bluefish TV presents.
Life is in motion, moving faster than it ever has. So we establish our unique identities before this world passes us by.
We try.
In these 5 episodes, Bluefish TV examines the extreme
That
consequences.
sucks because I only have
of
3 of them,
acceptance.
and there's
Nobody
5.
understood me.
I've got to be bigger, better, and stronger.
I wanted to be someone that people liked.
I tried, basically every drug you could think of.
I was doing about a quarter ounce of meth a day.
And the deep satisfaction
Hell yeah,
of
right.
making your own choice and finding your unique identity in Christ.
God created me in his image.
He had me satisfied. It really fulfills something in your heart that nothing else could fulfill.
Featuring behind-the-scenes interviews from today's most popular Christian musicians, insight from leading authors and experts, and real-life stories from teens across the nation. This is freedom. This is choice. This is identity. This is life. This is velocity.
I guess. Whatever. I guess. I don't know. It's so weird. I could not put on a new
Total
shirt
TV is now
unless I
Bluefish
took a
TV.
shower, you know?
Get comfortable with it.
Like, I would need to take a shower before putting on a brand new shirt. Otherwise, I'd feel dirty in that new shirt, you know?
Rules and regulations.
This
Anger
dude,
and unbelief.
the lead singer of Creed or something.
No to God.
Can you take me higher with a place that I can't see? Velocity. Velocity.
When recording artist Jennifer Knapp
Oh,
entered
it's
the music
Eric
scene,
Orson.
she brought a
Okay,
raw and
cool.
honest voice to Christian music.
He
Just
looks
don't be
like
afraid to
Shaggy.
listen to that still small voice that's coming. I believe that comes to everyone. It
Jennifer
says,
Knapp.
you know, choose you this day who you will serve.
But for years, that voice was drowned out by the deafening noise of a broken home and a rebellious youth.
I lived with my dad, and I always visited my mom, and then
She's got that,
started to understand the conflict as I got
what's
older.
her name?
And
Look,
my family's
from,
arguing back and forth, and the you love me.
Oh
more
my
than,
God,
you know,
what is
you
it
love
called?
her.
Silence of the
You know,
Lambs?
those
That
little
like,
conflicts of your parents
you know what I
wanting
mean?
Your affection, and as a little
You know what
kid
I
trying to
mean? That
figure out how to
Silence
do
of the
that.
Lamb kind
I
of
wanted it
lisp.
to all be cool. If I prayed to God and said fix this, that He would do that every single time. And when those things didn't occur, the way that I wanted them or I perceived that they should happen, I attributed that to God and got mad and said, well, fine, you don't listen to me. Forget you then. I'm going to go the other way. And so I started reading books about, you know, Buddhism, Hinduism, and witchcraft. And for whatever reason, Christianity just didn't really seem like an option.
I like
even
how you
though
put
my
in
grandma, when I was a kid,
witchcraft
kept
in with
dragging me to church every
Buddhism.
Sunday. And after a certain
Like, that's
point,
like
I
a
just
legit,
decided that I wasn't going to believe in
nice
God.
religion, you know?
So basically, I left everything that I had behind where I'd grown up and went to school and was kind of trying to start a new life for myself. And I went to school, and here I'm partying, I'm drinking every day, and I'm thinking, at last, I'm finally free. And after a couple of months of that, I started realizing that wasn't freedom at all. I mean, I wanted to stop doing what I was doing because I just felt awful. Not because some Christian told me that I should or that I shouldn't, but
Yeah, sure.
all of a sudden I just wanted to put on the brakes.
Probably
and I
about a
couldn't.
boy, right? You met a boy somewhere and he turned you Christian.
When I saw other people who were actually living a life that I wanted, it had really at the beginning nothing to do with their faith or their Christianity, just their lifestyle that I wanted to not wake up in the morning and not know where I was at. And that was one of the first things that drew me to several of the Christians that I knew. And as I got to know them and realize why they were the way that they were, that they had a relationship with Christ, that their confidence was drawn from a higher place, then that became far more intriguing to me. That they
She
had
makes it seem like
relationships and they were literally
Christians
praying and
are
receiving word
fucking
from God,
Saiyans and
reading the
shit, and they
Bible
could go
and
Super
getting
Saiyan with the
a
Bible and
conversation
shit.
out of
Come
it.
on.
And as
It's
I
not.
started
It's not
to
like
get
that.
more and more curious about
You're
that,
not some
I
special
started to
kind of
understand what
race,
they
you
meant,
know.
because God was kind of cracking the door a little bit to me, and I felt like I was getting on.
See the
kind
full
of on the
moon,
party
and if
line
you
a
still
little
have your
bit, and it
tail, you
didn't
turn
take
into
long
a
after that for me
huge
to
ass
realize that
fucking
that's
gorilla.
really where I wanted to be.
I think one of the major misbeliefs is that if I really walk with God, if I commit myself to Christ, I'm climbing into this
It's
box.
like, dude, you're
and
not
this
Joel
box
Osteen.
has
Who gives
all
a
these
shit
limits,
about
and
you?
Now I can't do this.
You just
and I
look like
can't
a
do this. You know what the problem was? It wasn't the commands.
Like even with the
The problem
jean,
was my
the jean
misconception of
shirt,
God.
the denim
If
shirt.
life and God's will and purpose and all that He has for us is this road, this journey that we're on, well, some of the road goes up through the mountains, and there's sharp turns and there's drop-offs, hundreds of feet. If you go off the road, you're dead.
Oh, jeez.
And that's true of life. There's certain things you can make bad decisions.
That's
you go
true of
off the
life.
road, you're dead, emotionally, spiritually, physically. And so what God has done is all along the road, because He loves us, He put up guardrails. Why? Because He knows when you break through a guardrail, if you've ever seen that happen, and you fall 1,000 feet, it's very painful. And so the limitations are to make sure I get to stay on the road. And where the road leads is where the deepest, greatest fulfillment in the world.
The lack of freedom is what
And
saves
once I
you.
got on my brain, these limitations were for my good. it was like, wow. Now I get that verse that it talks about in 1 John where it says, his commandments are not hard.
So what do you think? Do you think Christianity is all rules and no fun? That it doesn't matter
yeah,
what you
pretty
believe as long
much.
as you're spiritual? There are lots of
I
people
think
who
so.
say no to God because they want to be smart, and they think Christianity doesn't make sense. Listen to Stacy.
It really doesn't.
My parents took me to Sunday school. I dreaded it every Sunday. Like, I don't know what it was. Like, I hated going to church.
Most of you know how Stacy feels. She's going to church because her parents make her. But she sees what's going on in the world and it's not making sense. She has a lot of questions.
Like, if God's out there, then why does he let, like, people die? Or, like, the people in Ethiopia, like, why are they starving? To me, this says that he's not
These are good
perfect.
questions.
Yeah, I consider myself a fairly smart guy. I mean, I've looked at the evidence and I conclude that there is a God who created us. I looked at the life of Jesus and I know that he had to be more than a teacher with magic tricks. I believe he was the Son of God and that he rose from the dead to bring the hope of life to the world. I'm not turning off my brain to believe these things. I'm turning it on. I've considered arguments for and against, and I've chosen to follow Jesus.
None of that
Look at
makes
the evidence and
sense.
make your choice.
If you start like
Stacy got
looking
the
at
chance
the
to
evidence,
make
it
her
makes
choice when
no
she was invited
sense.
to go to a youth camp. Still loaded with questions, she listened and watched the
I
people
went to
around
youth
her.
camp once. It
And
was
so,
all
like, they would
right.
have to explain things to me
I
over
wasn't anyone
and
like
over
attracted. It
again.
was all
went
mostly
from,
like older
really
people.
making no sense at all. Like, what are they talking about to, like, me understanding what it was all about and what they were trying to tell me in church when I was like 5 years old.
Well, that sounds like a nice ending to a story you'd hear in church. But this isn't the end of the story.
What?
It's the beginning. Stacy found the most important answer about God, but sometimes living for God can complicate things. Instead of the questions about why terrorism or starvation, now Stacy struggles with what's happening in her own life that is putting up a wall between her and God.
I
Yeah.
have this boyfriend. He's not a Christian, so like he doesn't really
Ruh-roh.
understand why I'm doing all this. So like he's getting angry at me. I just like sometimes think that maybe I shouldn't try as hard. I just kind of leave it the way it is.
Yep.
I know once either he becomes a Christian or we break up, then everything I think will get much easier. Like I can tell God's telling me to either break up with him or get him to church. Like I'll pray about things like all the time, like over and over, like
And
every
suddenly
day
it's
and
not
every
about
night.
freedom. It's about
And sometimes, like,
getting
doubt that he's
pussy.
even
Like,
listening
I
to me.
guess I have to go with this bitch to church to get
God is
pussy.
supposed to be the loving father. Well, then why does he let terrible stuff happen? A death or divorce, injury or illness, or just the loss of relationships? As the REM song says, everybody hurts. It's not profound, but it's true. But it doesn't help to take
Yeah,
our frustrations
REM's
out
very
on
popular
God.
with kids.
He wants to comfort us, to help us when we're troubled. If you're angry with God, chances are you're angry with an image of God, an expectation you have. He's more than Mr. Rogers. He's more than Santa Claus. He's going to have ways way beyond your understanding. And he's going to have love
I
that triumphs
guess.
over pain.
Mm-hmm.
We'll be right back with more Velocity after this brief message.
In life, there are two roads to take: mediocrity or significance. The time to choose.
I'm pretty
is
sure
right
there are
now.
more roads than that.
At rightnow.org, we know you're looking for purpose. We know you're seeking
You know, like,
adventure,
you can
and
just
we know
kinda
that
chill.
mediocrity
You don't
isn't
need-
an option.
I
That's
don't
why
know.
we've gathered streaming
Besides,
media,
mediocrity
interviews, and
really isn't
articles
that bad.
that will direct your
Like,
journey
just
in life
making
toward
it
meaning and
is
purpose
fine.
like you have never
If you're making it,
experienced.
you're good, you know?
It's about being Christ amongst these people because they don't have any other way to see him.
When you turn 20, you realize that, I mean, you don't want to live a life full of regrets.
There's an opportunity right now to do something that nobody else could do. Hey, I'm Sean Groves.
I'm Rebecca St. James.
Hi, this is Dan from Jars of Clay.
I'm Jennifer Nath, and the time is right now.
The time is right now to check out rightnow.org and start living a life
Rightnow.org.
of purpose. Search our database of over 500 hands-on opportunities to
Whoa.
put your passion into action. There are only two roads. The choice is yours. Rightnow.org.
Pretty sure there's more than two roads, but whatever. What the fuck do I know? Fear Factory. Is that a band? Were they using that? That's the band's logo and shit.
All right, contestants, I'm Joe Rogaine, and for $50,000, Your first challenge is this. We're going to amputate your pinky, inject it with syphilis, reattach it. You guys getting ready to go?
Joe Rogan.
I'm not doing that.
No way. No.
Ain't worth it.
No, that's
It's
not.
just
Maybe
stupid.
for 75.
50? No.
Not a chance.
No, not gonna happen. Guess that's our episode for tonight. Join us next week when we challenge our contestants to live out their fear, living in a septic tank for 1 week.
What was the point of this? Is that like a Bible thing? Syphilis in your finger? What the fucking point was that? What was that supposed to mean?
Means different things to different people.
Tell
And
me,
unfortunately, being
singer
spiritual
from Creed.
hasn't always resulted in
what,
changed
what
lives.
was that supposed to mean? What was that?
My mom basically raised me to believe in anything I felt should be believed in. Whatever
Pretty
you
cool
believe
sunglasses, bro.
in is basically your own. I have a high tolerance for all religions. If
What
that's
was
your
that Joe
religion,
Rogan
that's your
parody
religion.
shit?
Doesn't
Like,
mean
that
it
was
has
so
to be mine.
weird.
But if that's what makes you happy,
I'll have to clip
kinda
that shit and
secures
put
you
it
in
somewhere.
your
It was so
own state of
fucking
mind.
weird.
Go for it. I'm not gonna hold you back. Many times I've asked people, why do you believe in what you believe? Sometimes I get the answer of, that's what I was raised to believe. If I were to ask anybody anything,
He looks like
where does your
Cyclops
God
from
come
the
from?
old X-Men
Who created him?
movies.
In my
The
mind,
Bryan
basically,
Singer
God
ones.
is a fabrication. People have come up with ideas that maybe a higher being, such as God, has put us here. And we have put the idea
Recording
of
the
God
dude
into
recording
each other's
them.
head. Just things that people need explanations for. Where we've come from, who we are, what made us come to be. Is there a higher being? And I too am searching for that answer. The Bible is put here as a set of guidelines for society. And to get somebody to believe that there's a higher power governing these rules kind of puts a state of fear that makes you think maybe I shouldn't break these rules. I personally don't know if there is a heaven or a hell. Heaven and hell gives everybody a place to look forward to and a place to fear if we've done something wrong or done something good. I really have no problem with Christianity. I'm not saying that Jesus didn't have anything good to say. I mean, I'm sure he said a lot of great things, but he's just another man. There's been plenty of men over centuries saying good things. Well, to say that one man is
Yeah.
completely perfect just doesn't make sense to me. Maybe he did a lot of good, but what about the things that he didn't do right? Well, I know that the story of Jesus isn't complete. There's an entire section that isn't there. Who knows where it stops? Who knows where it starts? But I'm just here to learn.
Why do people say that's your religion? It doesn't mean it has to be mine.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I think one reason could be that they all see the rules that Christians have and they don't want to follow them. Now, that might be because we do have too many rules. If we were saying you have to go to church 19 times a week and have your devotions every hour and you can't drive fast or drink Mountain Dew or watch The Simpsons, well, then we're just scaring people away. But God does have standards of behavior. He wants us to obey our parents.
Can't drink
abstain from
Mountain
sex
Dew or
before
watch The
marriage,
Simpsons.
and
Whoa.
live pure lives.
That's
to face it,
extreme.
some people just don't want to live like that, though. When people make that choice, there's not a lot we can say except maybe try it. You'll like it.
Oh my
You see,
God.
people think they're living it up when they're really dragging themselves down. Jesus gives us a life full of purpose. He gives us strength to say no to temptation, and he offers a deep joy that surpasses the temporary pleasures of the fast lane. Maybe if we started living
have
the
you
abundant
tried
lives Jesus
masturbating?
gives us, people would want to have what we have. You know, Christianity would be a pretty cool religion if it weren't for all those Christians. But we're not perfect, even after we meet Jesus. We still struggle to do the right thing, but some people say no to God because they see churches full of hypocrites and they don't want any part of it.
Oh yeah, no
Maybe
shit.
you've seen the bumper sticker that says, Christians aren't perfect, just forgiven. Well, remember that. The key to our faith is not our own self-discipline, but the grace and forgiveness of God. Yes, our churches are full of sinners, and in fact, that's really the first requirement for admission, isn't it? Maybe we should hang a sign over our church doors that say sinners only. That might keep us from being so proud. And it might let everyone else know that we need help.
Do it
But it's
then.
no reason to say no to God. The church is full of sinners. Absolutely.
I started going to church when I was young. I attended the church services with my mom. But in the back of my head, I could never really forget what my mom did. You know, as an alcoholic and the consequences I had to suffer along with her.
Mhm.
It was something
Moms are
inside of me that
terrible.
just naturally rebelled against my mom.
Mhm.
And I lived kind of a double life. When I went and hung out with my friends, I was hanging out with my friends and I did what I wanted to do. And when I went home and I went to church, you know, I acted good. I was a good person. My parents thought, you know, I was okay. They knew that I didn't want to have anything to do with Christ, and they knew that I wasn't ever going to want
My parents thought I was
So they
okay.
didn't push it on me, but
Yeah,
I knew my mom
that's
prayed
all
for
right.
me. I began to think, you know, that there really is no such thing as God, and I began to hate church, basically, and I began to hate God.
Mhm.
He had never done anything
It
for
is
me.
pretty
and
boring.
I didn't believe he did anything for my family.
Except make your mom a piece of shit.
I just believed that all these people who praised God and believed in this Jesus Christ were just people who needed an answer and a help, and they found it in this person named Jesus. But he really didn't exist to me.
Well,
I
Jesus
believe there was
doesn't
no
like
heaven, I
fat
believe there was
chicks.
no hell. I lived my life like that, and the friends I hung out with introduced me to a little bit of everything, and I found I didn't have a taste for it, and it didn't satisfy me. And I found myself very unhappy, very lonely.
You know, I think there are a lot of people like Monica in the church. Maybe that's how you feel. Doing the church thing on Sunday because your parents make you. It's where your friends are. Or it's just what you've done all your life.
Mhm.
But you're trying to have it both ways.
They used to make me
Acting
go to the
Christian on
church
Sunday,
that spoke
but leaving
Spanish,
that
and
behind the
God,
rest of the
I
week.
would fall asleep. It was
Why?
so
Is it
fucking
because you're afraid
boring.
people will think you're weird if you
But they
take
would
your faith too seriously?
they would speak half English and half Spanish, so
some
as a
people
kid,
think
I thought
everything is
they were speaking Spanish. I
it's
was
cool
just
to do your
understanding
own
the
thing,
English
but weird
parts.
if you don't fit
Like
in
my
with the
brain
crowd.
was translating it
Figure
like
that
a
out.
cartoon or something.
Don't be satisfied with just being part of the Christian club. Find your unique relationship with Jesus and live in a way that pleases Him. For years, you've been practicing your parents' religion, but what do you believe? Are you afraid of always being a kind of clone of your parents? At your age, you're supposed to be finding your own identity. But it makes no sense to ditch Christianity when that's your connection to the God who made you who you are.
Mhm.
Attended a church service one week, and it was at a youth conference. And this man began to speak, but he started to describe exactly how I felt deep inside of me. And he began to say, you know, you feel like your life is going nowhere. You're lonely inside. You have nothing to do. Your life's going to be nothing. And he said, you know what, give Jesus a
These
chance.
Mexicans.
That night I went and I accepted the Lord, and I said, Lord, if you know you're real, use my life. Make something out of my life, because I can't do anything with it. I tried and I can't. That was the day my life turned upside down. I mean, I had a totally different attitude
I
towards
became lesbian.
everything. I mean, towards life, towards my family, towards my mother. And I had found this new friend. I found Jesus. I knew that Jesus Christ was all I needed, and that's all I was ever going to need.
Yeah, that's a red
He had
flag.
me satisfied.
She's pretty psycho
God
now.
has shown himself to be this amazing God who loved me when I didn't even really love myself, who cared about me to such a level that he would give his own son for me, and who
Yes,
all
we
he
know the
wants is the very
story.
best for me. And when people see that and they wake up to that, I mean, I see it happening every week around here, and they wake up to that kind of reality, all of a sudden to them, ought is out the window, and it's want. I want to worship God. I want to know more about God. I want to know
Okay.
more about this Bible.
Ought
I want to know more
to
about
want.
this truth, because what I do know is changing my life.
Mhm,
And now, all of a
mhm, mhm.
sudden, church is about a celebration of something that's amazing. It's not about obligation.
I think it
to
depends
something
on the
that we ought to do.
church, if it's fucking boring or
We don't
whatever.
have to be clones. God wants you to use your talents and passion and personality and loving Him. This is not your parents' Christianity. You need to make it your own.
Whoa.
Meet Jesus for yourself. Find your own way of communicating with
You
Him
could still
and
watch
living for Him. This
The
is Eric
Simpsons
Orson
and
for
drink
Velocity.
Mountain Dew.
See you next time.
On the next
Thanks,
episode of
Soundgarden.
Velocity,
If you find yourself doubting God, the Bible,
Spoon
church,
man.
your own faith, you're not alone.
Come down with your hand, save me. Oh, the devil in your hand. Diddle little doot 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 diddle little doot doot diddle little doot 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 diddle little doot diddle little doot diddle little spoon man. Come and save me with your hand, save me. I'm in the club with your hand. Diddle doot 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 doot. I don't know. Good song. Very good song. Spoon
Total
Man.
TV is now Bluefish TV.
What does that mean, bluefish? Is that like a funny thing from the Bible? Like an inside joke? But anyway, that was that was Velocity, a Bible study for teenagers, #1, knowing God. I would say, me personally, I'm not. I think I'm supposed to be Catholic, and I was raised Catholic, and I mean, some of the stuff, it's one of those like you want to believe it, you know, like you want the good things in it that you hope for that help you get through the day, you know. But a lot of it's like wacky, you know, like, oh, I'm gonna sacrifice my son Abraham and the city of Sodom and all the other weird shit in the Bible, you know, the Garden of Eden, and women being hated for it, you know, because they just ate the fucking apple and gave it to Adam, and he fucking got it stuck in his throat and all that shit. But I don't know. I would say if you're a religious person, that's fine, as long as you don't use it like to as some sort of tyranny or to rule over people, which was the whole point, I think, of religion years ago. But yeah, religion's okay for me as long as you use it in the positive ways, and it helps you get through the day. If it helps you get through the day, you know, that's good. That's a good reason to be into religion, and I can't say that enough. If something helps get you through the day and it's not hurting anyone, more power to you, you know. But yeah, we'll look the next couple of weeks at the other films for regurgitated content, and yeah, we'll keep at it. We'll keep churning out this content. But thank you for checking out my YouTube. If you haven't, like and subscribe, rate and review, comment, tell me what I should do, what I shouldn't do. Tell me what kind of religion you're into. Buddhism isn't that bad. I don't know why that chick was talking shit about it. But yeah, let me know in the comments, or join my Patreon, patreon.com/@LorenzoAriolo, where we have bonuses there too of content. But yeah, I want to thank y'all for being here today, and we'll keep pushing stuff out. So take care. Bye.